When it comes to building strength with just calisthenics, you end up running into walls pretty hard. It's tough to advance at a certain point, so you have to get creative. The obvious thing most people do is just add weights, get your weighted vest, and you're doing push-ups. And yeah, I tried that once, and I ended up getting a bunch of joint pain, and things were not right, and it was too much weight, too fast, even though I went slow with it. Started low, added a little bit at a time. Today we talk about creative ways to get stronger somehow with only your loser body. So the first exercise that I'm trying to get stronger in is push-ups. And like I was doing one arm push-ups and they became way too easy. And then so I started doing them on a ring and it was like, okay, that was much harder. You have to stabilize that ring, and then those became too easy. So I elevated my feet higher and it's like, okay, now those are good, but I'm doing way too many reps now. Like I'm up to 18 or something and I'm like, okay, we're no longer building strength. It's just an endurance exercise at this point. What am I gonna do to advance beyond this? Because like there's only so high my feet are ever gonna go, and like I don't wanna add weight, so what can you do? The most obvious thing is, see, my arm is now resting on my back. Before, you couldn't see it, but it was braced on my thigh, the back of my thigh, and it was almost acting like another arm helping. And now it's just resting, and these are very hard now. And I'm struggling to even get low enough. And no, I could not do even 4 reps. So you have to ask yourself, what other limb is helping me way too much right now that shouldn't be involved in the equation? So like that bracing of this little impact, like that's very solid. You're like a tripod, 2 legs, and that is like, that's solid stuff. And then, oh yeah, this isn't helping much. It's helping everything, and it feels great to help. But like once you remove that in the equation and you're out here, this isn't helping you. Pushing on your back is doing nothing. So it's like, now it's all just chest and hell mode. And where I feel it the most, surprisingly, is in my back and stomach. Like this is no longer even a push-up. This is a full body, holy shit move where you're just like core engaged. This is hard hell. I feel it so much in the core area. So this is a core breaker 2000. When it comes to pull-ups, I've been doing these one-arm negatives for a long time, and I wanted to see, usually I just do a bunch of negatives, and then at the end I try to do the wrist ups where I'm holding. On my left hand, I decided to try that in between reps, thinking, okay, instead of helping with the other arm, I'm gonna do this one arm back up and then a negative, and this is bad. I can just tell you right now, if you're ever doing something really hard, do all of them once on one arm. Don't go back and forth. You'll never get the same amount of reps. If we speed this up till we're finished, watch how soon I die on that left-hand side where it's just like, I died already. Whereas I'm still going and doing these one-armed reps. Like I got way more. I was able to do 5 instead of 3. And then I was also still able to do more stuff. I was like, oh, okay, I died there. But like, see how much time under tension happens when you do the one limb as hard as it gets, and then at the end, you do the easier thing. You don't mix them. Don't mix and match, man. Go to failure every time. That is your goal in life. And then your arm will bring you out of the dome one day. You will lift your mind there, and you will get there, my friend. Obviously, this information can be found in the Monkey Strength program available down below. Good times on that one. So, when it comes to one limb movements, do not ever do one limb and then the other. One limb and then the other. No, you're always doing one to failure as hard as you can and then rest for 10 minutes. I jump on a rebounder for 10 minutes between these sets. If I was going back and forth, I would get way less reps on both. So clearly, if you do one at a time and focus on that and then rest completely, You're gonna do way more reps, get way more strength, even as a vegan. Even as a vegan. Another thing to do is just go slower. Just try to be in control. I'm actually doing that now with the one arm negatives because I got up to 5 and I was like, I don't want to get up to 6 and 7 and 8. I want to like do them really slow so I can actually do a one arm pull up again. That is the goal in life. So like now I'm going really slow. Did not film it, didn't need to, but like much slower. You're in control all the way. That is much harder than just like bursting, dropping like a sack and ripping your shoulder out of your arm. I personally like the challenge of trying to come up with ways to make exercises harder without the obvious easy way of just adding weight. It's just like, how can your mind do this? Okay, this angle, certain angles are harder than others, different movements, elevating, slowness. These are all the things you know as a monkey strength warrior. And then we don't need weights, we don't need money. We're just at home, we're doing that. Just one pull-up bar, that's all you need. Some rings if you got them. Come on, those fun times. It all sneaks up against your wall. You don't have a bunch of weights everywhere damaging your floors, you drop them. I don't need that in my life. If that's your life, that's fine. That's fine. If I had a basement or something and it was like a workout area, I'd have a kettlebell or two, like for the heck of it, why not? Throw it around there. Come on, the Turkish get up. I'll get up on your mom later. And when it comes to nutrition, I have just given away my protein powder because I don't need that gas in my life. I can't digest it. So like I've been doing low protein, really low, but adding creatine, and I seem to continue to get stronger, and it's ridiculous. I really want to try going like fruit-based again. Summer's gonna come at some point, not in Canada anytime soon, but can you even imagine it? Creatine plus fruitarian, the strength potential of a kitten, and good skin and perfect digestion, and the hydration out the yin yang. I wanna see it, because so far I'm like, protein is not even a thing. Usually at some point, my strength will deteriorate without creatine when I'm low protein. But now the creatine is the life hack. And if that's all you need, a little 5 grams of creatine every day, you could be totally fruitarian and build muscle. It's exciting, is it not? Mystical. Are we not agreeing? So that could be a future coming near us soon. And I appreciate you thumbing up the video now. Some at this point have thumbed it down, but it's because you do weighted calisthenics with your cat. He's not heavy enough. Although some obese cats in the world, stop feeding your cat so much. He doesn't need to hide emotionally like you do at night. He doesn't need to stuff down his emotions. He's a cat. He just thinks of mice and stuff and chasing things and swatting his brother. He doesn't have the pain that you have. You don't have to stuff it down with rice milk. You know what I mean? Kibbles. So many obese cats on the internet. I'm like, man, they can't even hop up on a bed to hug you. That's pain. Unlike Bitcoin crashing with your donations. Thank you so much. Subscribe for more.